Hey guys, it is me again. Today is Sunday, February 20th, 2011. That makes it day 51 on the Project Serve Him More. It is good to see you all again here tonight. I'm a little bit late getting this video in, guys, but the reason I am, I guess you all will consider is a good reason. I've been sitting here for about the last hour or so answering comments and thanking new subscribers and trying to catch up a little bit. So I only went back 2 days, guys. I did day 50 and 49 because I had so many subscribers to thank and friend invites and personal messages and things like that. So if any of you guys had any important comments before that, I may get on here. I may get on there and go back another day or two. I mean, I don't know if I will or not. To be honest, it kind of surprised me because most of my comments in my last few videos that I've looked at are from new subscribers, people that just started watching me, and some of my, I guess you could say, old faithful watchers are gone. So I don't know if, I'm hoping I've not made anybody mad by not answering comments, but I know there's several people that last 2 or 3 videos I've looked at, they've not commented. So anyway, guys, like I said, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about not getting to answer. I just, I got, how it goes with anything, guys, to be honest about it. Once you get into a routine, and once you break that routine, it's hard to go back. Just like when I was in school, if you missed a day of school, going back after the day you missed was harder than ever. Just like I did it, at church, but back before I was pastoring, when I could actually miss church. When you'd miss 1 week, the next week is like, it just once you throw your routine off, it gets harder and harder to go back. And I'm sorry for that, but like I said, I have went back and answered subscribers, or thank subscribers, and I've answered the last 2 nights' comments. I may go back and answer 2 or 3 more, but I just hope you guys can forgive me for that. I did read personal messages, so everybody that did that, I know Dead for Jesus had messaged me asking me if I had a Facebook page. So, brother, which I sent you a reply back. But if you see this, I'll just tell you, I do have a Facebook page. I don't know the actual URL or address of it or whatever. I don't know. I get on it some. I don't know a whole lot about Facebook. So, maybe you can try to find me, look me up. I don't know if you can look me up by my name or whatever, how you do it, but, anybody on here is welcome to look me up, which I probably don't have any pictures or anything on there, so, I don't know how you'll know it's me or not, but, I used to fool with MySpace a lot. I like the way MySpace is laid out a lot better than Facebook, but, kind of everybody started going to Facebook, and I just don't like the way it's laid out. Everything's, to me, it's just too hard and it's too complicated. Well, not really complicated. I just don't like the way it's laid out. I was basically say that. I don't like the way it's laid out. So, but I may try to get a picture or something put on there before long, guys. Maybe at least of my motorcycle. That way you'll know that it's my page. So I'll try to do that. And Brother Woody, I did get your comment, your message. I need to change that video. You asked me why I had that. See, that's the video that they put AdSense on back in the spring, and I actually thought I was going to get to make some money on that video, and I since found out that Google does not send you a check till you reach $100, and I've made like $50 off that video, so they won't send it, and I won't ever make enough probably. I was hoping to become partner maybe someday, but I already applied once and they shot that down. I don't know why. I've checked some guys out that got less amount of videos and less views and everything than I've got, and they've approved them. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but I am going to change that video. I may put one of my motorcycle videos up there, Woody, like you said. Maybe that'll draw some more interest. But let's see what else, guys. I'm gonna try to make this video a little bit shorter. I just got done watching Fireproof. I don't know how many of you guys have seen Fireproof, Kirk Cameron's movie. It's one of those deals. I was just flipping through the channels, nothing on to watch, and I flipped through and found gospel at GMC. I guess it's Gospel Music Channel, and they was playing it. And I think I missed about the first 10 minutes of it or 15, but I watched most of it. And it's actually a pretty good movie. You know, I guess it's a better movie if you're married. You know, it's a marriage movie more than anything, but still a pretty good movie. So I watched that, and that's another reason I'm late. But let's see, guys. Like I said, I do. And then, you know, the thing I like about that movie, the thing I like about it, and it's a thing I've tried to tell people. I've seen people with marriages that were in trouble, and I've heard you know, you try to talk to them and tell them, you know, try to advise them, and I've heard the wife say, well, he's not going to change, and I'm not going to change, and this is not, so we might as well get divorced, you know, because people don't change. And and the thing you can't make them understand, to be honest, that's pretty much true without the Lord. But see, when you get the Lord in it, that's the thing. I can already tell you, 99% of all marriages that don't have God in it is going to fail. That's just the truth. 9 out of 10 marriages that I know that split, either one person was not saved or both of them were not saved. You have to be equally yoked. And you know, when you bring God into the equation, it just works. I mean, that's the thing about it. You can't fix a problem, you know, something like with marriage. You can't try to fix your marriage when you've got a deeper problem, and that deeper problem is not being saved. Because you're never going to be happy. You're never going to live the life that deep down you know you ought to live if you're not saved. So you try to use other things to make yourself happy. And I mean, that's the first thing I tell you know, anybody that I'm talking to that's having marital problems, if they're not saved, which, like I said, most of the time it is, because most saved couples don't have that bad of marriage problems. I mean, that's just the truth about it. If they're truly saved, you know, I mean, that's just the truth. You know, I say, you're like everybody else. You need God. You know, you just need God as a couple. You both need God. So that's kind of what that's one reason I like that movie, because they kind of portrayed that. You know, in this movie, he's talking to his dad, and his dad's pretty much letting him know that his underlying problem is he's not saved. You know, he needs to get saved. He needs to know the Lord, have a relationship with the Lord, and his wife does too. And when that happens, you know, everything will work out. And I did like that part of it, because I honestly believe that's the truth. You know, like, I'm not married, never have been married. But I'm saved, and the Lord gives me discernment on these things, and, you know, I don't have to be married to know that. I can see that. The Lord gives me enough common sense to know that. Anyway, guys, what else? As you can see here, well, I don't know how good you guys can see. You can't see with this cruddy camera, but that is my first actual hunting cartridge that I've made. I made 13 of these today, because that's how many NATO cases I had cleaned and ready to go. So I just loaded 13 of them. That is a Nosler ballistic silver tip bullet in that. That's a bad dude right there. That will turn fairly small animals. I mean, like, oops. Excuse me for a second, guys. That'll turn coyote size and down animals inside out. It's a bad dude. It's got a coating on it, a Winchester coating they put on it to make it less friction in your barrel and all that. And it's not a molly coating; it's a dry coating. But it's faster and it's slicker, and then it's got that silver ballistic tip on it. And like I said, it'll pretty much turn a coyote inside out. And real small animals, you get down like squirrels and things like that, they're gone. I mean, they just literally disappear when you shoot them. It vaporizes them pretty much. Hornady VMAX does too. But anyway, I did a little bit of reloading today. I always enjoy that. Like I said, got those done, and not got to shoot my colt yet. I didn't feel it today. The weather was it was cooler here and kind of overcast, and I really don't think you're supposed to have that good of weather this week. I think it's supposed to be a high of like low 50s and partly sunny some days and not other days. And, not bad weather, but not, like we've had the last few days. We've had mid-60s, sun shining and mid-60s to almost 70. So, compared to that, it's not going to be real good. But we'll try to get the colt out and shoot it. I'm going to try to, I think I got enough money to order me a crossbreed Super Tuck holster for it. I'm going to look here in a few minutes and see, kind of figure out my bills for the week, what I got to pay. See if I can spare $80 for a holster. But anyway, guys, let's get into the important part tonight. As always, of course, that is God's Word. I do want to thank you all for praying for me last night and today. Had a great sermon today. Had a woman, we anointed her with oil and prayed for her. Having some health problems. She had a mini stroke. And the Lord, I can't go into it. I don't have time. I'll maybe tell you tomorrow night. The Lord really gave her a miracle and brought her home. A matter of fact, I will tell you that, guys, tomorrow night. I will. I'll try to remember that. I'll tell you the story on this. It's a miracle, I'll tell you. But we prayed for her. Had a good time. Had a real good time at church today. So I thank you all for that. I thank the Lord most for it, but you guys are praying for me, so you know what I mean. Anyway, Mark chapter 12, verse 28 says, And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and receiving that he had answered them well, asked him, Which is the first commandment of all? Again, they're always trying to trick Jesus. And Jesus answered him, The first of all the commandment is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is no other commandment greater than these. And the scribe said unto him, Well, Master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one God, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all whole burnt offerings and sacrifices. And when Jesus saw that he answered discreetly, he said unto him, Thou art not far from the kingdom of God. And no man after that durst ask him any question. And Jesus answered and said, while he taught in the temple, How say the scribes that Christ is the son of David? For David himself said by the Holy Ghost, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore himself calleth him Lord, and whence is he then his son? And the common people heard him gladly. And he said unto them in his doctrine, Beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing, and love salutations in the marketplaces. I'm trying to find a good... I'll read two more verses, guys. And the chief seats in the synagogues and in the uppermost rooms at feast, which devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers, these shall receive greater damnation. Don't really think that needs no real explanation there, guys. So I guess that does it for tonight. I'm glad you all were here. I'm glad to actually get to answer some. I'm glad to have my comments, or at least some of them, and some of my stuff caught up. That's such a relief off. So you guys, maybe some of you guys that have been watching and not commenting the last few days, I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm not going to get behind like that. So if you want to start commenting again, I implore you to. Because it's you guys that keep me going, like I've said before. If I got to where nobody commented and not many people watched, I mean, you know, what's the purpose of doing this? I'm doing this so that people can be blessed by it, so that people can see it. If they got questions about the Lord, they can ask. You know, I'm doing this to reach people. So, you know, if it gets to where I'm not reaching anybody, what's the point in doing it? You know. Anyway, guys, good Lord willing, I'll be back here tomorrow night. So, you guys, just usual, keep praying for me. Pray for my family. Pray for my church. Pray for my business. Pray that the Lord will keep me in His will, keep me in His hand. And if you guys need anything, let me know. I'm going to try to get some videos made here pretty quick, guys. So be looking for that. And until I see you guys again, good night and God bless.